Hello, and welcome back to the Blueberry Billionaires Club. We are in our next episode where we're going to dive a little bit into the world of bringing together beauty and billions. The longevity secrets we swear by. Welcome to My Green Balance. This is my channel. I'm Anik, nicknamed Organic, and I hope you like it here. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you're enjoying these chats. And if not, scroll along. Okay. People ask me, why do you talk about these sorts of topics? It's a bit, what is the word they use? It's like topics that you don't really want to talk about, but you want to talk about. Taboo. They say it's a bit taboo. But I'll tell you a little secret. And the difference between millionaires and billionaires is that in billionaire circles, discussing what we're buying, how we're buying what, put it on my card, put it on my account, charge it to this, charge it to that, just get the job done is quite a normal conversation. So, or, what are you investing in now? Are you going to invest in a neighborhood close to me? Are you traveling to here this summer? Are you staying in a villa nearby to where I'm staying? These are kind of the conversations that go. So we welcome it, and we think the conversation around finances for financial health reasons are healthy and important because nobody wants to ever have to fight about money in their life. I think that's just a waste of energy. And it's interesting because it's surprising, actually, not interesting, how emotionally tied each human is to their financial habits. So here, we'll not only explore financial literacy, but maybe even some habits that you might enjoy adopting into your world sooner rather than later. My Green Balance was conceptualized when in 2014, so we're in 2025 now. And I remember sitting in my mother's house wondering, well, who cares about health and wellness? Because coming from the Caribbean, it was not the popular thing to care about. And what I found was fun gems because I'm like, oh my gosh, the richest people in the world all care about health. This is great. I want to be the one to service them. So I created My Green Balance and I learned. And it just so happened that I attracted very high net worth individuals and families and groups and companies who are all aligned with the similar mindset of health is wealth. And I learned a lot from our conversations with a lot of my clients. Obviously, everything is NDA and I cannot tell you any private details. But I can say that the community is small, niche, and full of quality. And we learn a lot from each other, and what we do have in common include how do we all have healthier lifestyles that we enjoy. If you see me scratching my nose, I think it's just a cat. Hey, even though I got this whole room cleaned recently. Okay, so the Blueberry Billionaire lifestyle. It's not just about making money, it's how you spend your money too. And that's how friends are in 2025. Like, do you like to spend money the same ways that I like to spend money? And I think that's important to be around people who enjoy spending money the same ways that you enjoy spending money, because what's the point about being in a circle where you as a group all have money and get together and what you want to spend on is different to what other people want to spend on for your idea of fun? So for example, if I want to go spend my money on organic vegetables and fish that is maybe a little more luxurious to eat, and a sparkling water and a collagen beverage, and go for a walk in a park, but you want to spend your money on buying an expensive car to go to McDonald's and buy a burger and fries, there's a complete contrast in that experience of what each person enjoys. And I think that's important because the worst thing is being in a situation where you have to spend your own money in a position you really don't want to spend it on. And I think that's what the biggest takeaway is here, is that once you're like so aligned with your values, and each dollar you spend is a vote in a direction of a brand you want to see succeed or not. And when you are supporting brands, it's important that you align with your values and you align your heart set, your mindset, and your soul set so that you feel like everything you buy is worth it. Isn't it like the most annoying thing when you buy something, you're like, oh, that wasn't worth it? That's how I used to feel with my diet whenever I would binge on junk food. It was never worth it to me. So that's why I stopped. It wasn't just I didn't want a zinger. It's like if I went to KFC and I bought it and I felt good and I was like, yeah, this is great. I made this decision. I feel great about it. I would do it again. But each time I made those decisions, whether it was having a cookie or an extra dessert or a pastry, unless I really planned to do that and get a specific pastry, it was never worth it for me. So I wouldn't just buy a pie on the side of the road because I'm hungry. I would never do that. I would rather starve and then buy a salad in the right time and moment when I got the opportunity. And if I wanted a croissant from a nutritionist perspective, I would wait until a weekend where I would eat clean all week and then go and indulge on a little croissant with a coffee once in a blue moon or a few times a year. And that's what we recommend for quality over quantity, but also it is in an experience that is mindful and deliberate. That is how decisions are made more so than being frivolous. You might notice that a lot of billionaires, if you got a chance to hang out with any or meet them, have a certain stack of values that they live by that they will never deviate from. Whether that is in how they manage their wealth, who they let around in their circle, who they do not let around in their circle, where they travel, where they vacation, but most importantly, what they're eating and who they're eating with. It's all about luxury. So, for example, some of the conversations I've had, I'm like, well, shellfish might not be the best for cholesterol. Or, this extra tiramisu might not be the best for this. And they'll say, Anik, you don't know my lifestyle. We're going to the best restaurants with Michelin stars, and this is on the menu. We want to eat it. So I'm like, okay, I have to chat. Well, I understand you want to eat that, but you also want to get abs, and you want to be toned, and you want to get your cholesterol down, and you want this. So it's a very interesting conversation type that we have, but when we find a happy middle, it's always the best. Because I wouldn't want to recommend anything you can't stick to, but I also wouldn't want you to feel deprived of your favorite foods. So it's important to have a structure the similar way that there are structures behind many of the other aspects of a lifestyle when it comes to food and diet and health. There's nothing wrong with a little ice cream here and there, but we are in a day and age now where we can get access to healthier alternatives and healthier treats that may not impact our blood cholesterol, for example, or contribute to arterial plaque buildup. So with the evolution of food over time, we are actually quite well positioned for this whole generation to live a lot longer. And I feel that's where most of humanity has to, well, whoever's available and watching this, you get lucky and you get inner access to top tips. But for everybody else, they may not come across this information until a long time. So enjoy it here. All right, so let's dive into some of the longevity secrets of the ultra wealthy. But here's a twist. I will show you how you can do them on any budget. Cold therapy and saunas. So many billionaires do have their own private gyms and saunas in their homes. However, if they are part of a membership club just for the community or just to have a travel place to go to, that's a different story. But usually they just set up a sauna in their house. The cool thing I heard the other day was that the new place to have meetings is in saunas. And I was like, that's better than going to bars and like drinking alcohol, because billionaires care about health so much. Why not go to do, massages and talk about closing your next deal? Or go into a sauna and line up your next line of products for distribution? Or go to your favorite health club, and after playing a game of tennis or pickleball, have a matcha coffee, a gluten-free breakfast, and plan the next quarter of ways that you and your community are going to keep fit and healthy and strong, and be able to show up better for your own family. So let's just say you're at home and you want to create your own cold plunge or rotate between hot and cold showers. You can definitely do that. What we have seen with the biohacking trends include that people go into the cold therapy, and this was from like Wim Hof was one of the first, I want to say scientists or practitioners to recommend this. He's definitely an author and a coach. You can definitely look up his work. He's fantastic. And he recommends it to, I don't want to say chill out a nervous system, but maybe that is what I'm looking to say. Regulate our nervous system. He recommends, okay, you go cold, you freeze your butt off, and then somehow it's able to emotionally regulate people and nervous system as well. I mean, they go into the cold. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It's not my thing. Ice baths, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it. But, this is just what they do, right? Which is fine. And if you're at home and you want to try it, first thing when you wake up in the morning, do a cold shower. And then you can do your hot showers in between. But the cold shower is supposed to be like natural coffee, just to wake you up and get you all refreshed. And that's something they swear by. And also having a lot of the right medical technology around. So most billionaires' houses are so tech focused. I mean, you'll find some that are kind of like out in the off-grid vibe, but tech is still very important. Some people want tech to be regulated in their lives that they want to be so much off-grid as possible, that they only use tech in increments, intervals, I should say, in between cherishing their present time with their families. Okay, supplements are definitely in this list, 1,000%. So, I mean, we see some of the best supplements. We got collagen, we've mentioned that before. Vitamin D for people who live in winter that don't get much sun. Then we have, I don't want to say Botox, but I guess it's kind of cosmetic, but preventative aging Botox is a thing. And then we have treatments like massage, physio, acupuncture. And most billionaires are into some sport or the other, live very active lifestyles. Some even go into extreme sports and work hard, extreme sport hard. It's just a vibe that they do. And I totally get why. And love protein powders, super clean diet. Like, the diet standard is just so important. Like, most of them don't want to eat any junk, but some of them, once at a high-end restaurant, they'll eat whatever. There's no real preference of, I won't eat fried food, or I will eat fried food, or kind of thing. So it's just, once it's quality, it's a good reputable restaurant, they'll order whatever. But some are very particular that they only want clean food, no fried food, no MSG, no chemicals. Like, everything has to be organic, homemade. It's very interesting. Very interesting. But then you get like the ones who drive around and they don't want to spend money on food at all. They spend money on all sorts of other things, and they're like the vacationers that sometimes might be way more overweight, but they're like the vacationers where they're rolling up to all the all exclusive hotels, and they're just like paying to eat and drink, and that's where they spend their money, and they spend a lot of it. I've had conversations with some people, and I'm like, You have the extra budget that you could invest into your health. If you're overweight and your belly is big, you are at a higher risk for developing chronic conditions like obesity. Well, you already have obesity, but cardiovascular disease, hypertension, high cholesterol. And some of the guys are like, I don't want to be rude, but this is how I wear my wealth. And they feel that having this belly is a sign of their wealth. And I'm like, well, who am I to tell you that's not appropriate or there's a better way? But most of the time, like if I could just sneak in a little thought comment, then plant a seed, I would recommend to say, that's not really how to show your wealth. You can show your wealth in other ways, like jewelry or just being discreet if you want, or buying another boat, but you don't have to get fat to show your wealth. But each to their own. Those are just my thoughts around that anyway. I recommend more so like a club membership to a golf club, and maybe upgrading your travel experience. Definitely wardrobe upgrades are always important. You can shop on my website, mygreenbalance.com, if you would like to support my channel and also get some new outfits to wear when you're thinking about getting healthy and working out. I have clothes in all sizes and they're very high quality for active wear, very comfortable. I really took time last year to research every material I picked up because I do have that in common. Like, I like quality things. I don't like cheap things. But you'll be surprised, some billionaires shop at Target, some shop at Walmart, some only go for Dior, some only go for Chanel. It's just like you can't differentiate. So each to their own. All right, so when it comes to mindfulness and meditation, these are the habits and principles that pretty much every billionaire I met has this foundation, where they have a very strong prayer life. Their spirituality priorities are very high up rank in their lifestyle, and they don't just train their bodies, they are continuously training their minds, because they know what it takes to operate at the level. So when you build wealth, that's one type of mindset. And then you have another version of mindset where you have to hold that wealth, keep it, and then you have to figure out how to multiply it and still hold and keep. So it's a constant brain training of get, hold, keep, flip, get, hold, keep, flip. And these are the brain training that they do. And meditation has been shown for its results in creating new neural pathways in our brains so that we can indeed think clearer. And every billionaire always wants clarity. They have to make decisions like this. People are depending on them. So you can't wait 5 minutes to make a decision. I mean, you might get 5 minutes, but usually when you're on call, you have trained your mind to operate in a way that is very strategic problem solving. So when someone comes to you with, should we go here or here? Usually can be like, yeah, we're going there. Should we buy this food or that food? We're buying this food. Should we go to this place or this place? We're going to that place. And that's just how they train their mind, because nobody likes wasting time. Okay? It's all about avoiding time wasting things, optimizing life, energy, and optimization in general. And if anything bugs you, pay extra money to shut it up or get rid of it. Sometimes that's just how it has to be. When it comes to fitness, strength, flexibility, and cardio, the trio for staying youthful at every age. Totally agree on this too, because people sometimes think for working out, it's all about going to extreme physical sports and challenges that really can wear and tear the body so much more and leave you with injuries that you'll have forever just to push to that. I don't see that as worth it, and I never recommend that way for my clients, because